Welcome to the Minotaur's Maze. Today, I am very excited to introduce a personal coach of mine. He went from living in an electrical closet to becoming an award-winning funnel coach, a #1 best-selling author, and an international and former TEDx speaker. Known as the coach's coach, he helps experts accelerate their growth, maximize their profits and impact via coaching. He has helped 10 businesses hit 7 figures in revenue and has built a passionate tribe around his mission statement, make more, give more. It is with great pleasure for me to introduce Akbar Sheikh, or as they like to say in America, Akbar Sheikh. Akbar, thank you for being here. How are you?
Good, man. Thanks for having me. Appreciate that.
So before we kick things on, let's just get some clarity here, because you always say a lack of clarity and a lack of certainty brings anxiety. And when I was practicing that, there was a little bit of anxiety. Is it Sheikh or is it Sheikh? So what is the official pronunciation?
Yeah, I guess everybody says Sheikh. I guess technically it's Sheikh. Probably there's going to be a at the end of it, but most people can't do that. So that it's okay.
No, it's okay.
I think it's good news for people that, like, people always want to have their own excuses on why they can't grow. And, I'm a funny looking brown guy who's technologically illiterate with a name nobody can spell or pronounce. So if I could do it, I think you can too.
Yeah. Well, you just started there, but for those that don't know you, can you just give us a very quick rundown of your background and your history?
I mean, long story short, bro, life was a mess for a long time. 50 pounds overweight, crippling anxiety disorder, married to the devil, a lot of addiction problems, ended up half dead in a hospital, ended up living in an electrical closet, a lot of chaos in my life. And, then we discovered kind of, we after surviving the hospital, we totally changed our lives around. We got healthy, dropped all our fast food, went organic, lost 50 pounds, got out of all our toxic relationships, got out of all our addictions, lost a bunch of weight. And then, in that process, we discovered internet marketing. And, I've been an entrepreneur my whole life and never really made anything out of myself, really, selling used cars, and was a slumlord and all sorts of cheesy things. Discovered internet marketing, really fell in love with the ethical principles of persuasion, and just kind of been happy with it ever since.
Brilliant. Okay, so see, you've been an entrepreneur for the most of your life, so you've always had that entrepreneurial mindset. But tell us a little about, were there a lot of fears and doubts on that journey, and what did you do to overcome them?
Yeah, man. It's like I really got to think hard about this, because no, I didn't have any fears. But I think that honestly has to do, and I don't know, maybe they don't want to hear this because it might not be practical advice for them, but the reality is, the truth is, I was just raised like that. I come from an entrepreneurial family. My dad never cared about money, had no fear about money. We never talked about, any fear of anything. And I'll tell you, I will give you some practical advice, and just based off what I've done in my life. Most of a lot of years, I wasn't really God-fearing. I didn't pray. I wasn't God-fearing. When I became God-fearing, everything really changed. So if you do fear these things, I suggest, only fearing God and believing and trusting in Him, that He will take care of you. And that might help alleviate you. The problem I'm having as far as helping people who are having these issues is that a lot of people grew up in a 9-to-5 family, and so they were brainwashed since a very young age with a scarcity mindset. So the most practical advice I can give you, dude, corporate culture, it is a nightmare. I went, my cousin works at some Fortune 500 company. I went there, and it is a mixture of a graveyard and a jail. In my estimation, the lights are a certain color, and then it's like what was really humiliating was the break room, where they give you these free graham crackers or whatever, and they have the golden handcuffs. We're going to give you this insurance. We're going to give you that insurance. We're going to give, and it's like to the point where they've got you thinking, man, how do I leave? Like I want to leave, but I can't leave, and that's called the golden handcuffs. Um, Listen, I don't mean any offense to anybody. I don't like, the corporate culture, personally speaking. I'm sure there's exceptions, and I'm sure there's good companies and stuff like that have nice campuses. I did go to the Google campus in California. That seemed nice. Those guys seem relatively happy. There are exceptions, but generally it is a bit of a nightmare. But back to practical advice, because a lot of people have been brainwashed since pretty much birth with a scarcity mindset from being in a 9 to 5 environment, I would suggest really working on your mind and get like a mindset coach because you really have to reprogram yourself and really take out all the mental trash that's been accumulating and compounding over the years. That's one of the first things I would recommend for someone to do, actually.
Before you go on, so when you talk about scarcity mindset, what exactly do you mean by scarcity mindset?
It's fear, it's imposter syndrome, it's operating out of it's the opposite of abundance. It's operating out of, oh, I don't know when my next meal is going to come, so let me just eat a lot here. Oh, I'm afraid to risk this money, I don't know if any more money will come. And abundance is the opposite. Well, no problem, we can risk this money. If we lose it, more will come. I'm hungry right now, you want to share my meal? Sure, go ahead, you can share it. I'm sure more food will come. It's literally polar opposites. There's abundancy, and where it's like, yes, everything's gonna be fine. There's more. There's plenty for everyone, and then there's a scarcity of, I don't know when the next X is gonna come. I need to have it now. I need to take it. I'm not gonna share it. I'm not gonna take any chances with it. It is a very kind of vile mindset to have, and if you and you might not know if you have it or not. And that's why it's important for people like friends and family to tell each other what's going on, because a lot of times they can't see what's going on because they're sort of in the thick of it. But more than likely, if you're having these problems that you're talking about, it's that you need to work on your mind.
Okay, and linked to obviously mindset is this idea of self-esteem. So you've never had obviously fear like you just said, but have you ever gone through a period of very low self-esteem? And if so, how did you come out of periods like that?
Yeah, I mean, look, I was an entrepreneurial failure most of my career, right? I always hated what I did. Honestly, I'll tell you this. I'll give you an analogy of a barbecue grill, because barbecue season just ended, pretty much. And we went to a lake house here, and the grill wasn't working. It looks like nobody used it in a long time. Actually, what had happened was the pores were kind of clogged with grease. There was the week before, we were somewhere else. We were grilling fresh, hot, new, perfect grill, everything running well-oiled machine. Put the burger on, nice and hot, 2 minutes, flip it on the other side, 2 minutes, perfect, delicious. So we bought those same burgers again. We went but it was a different spot. That grill was a bit clogged. Half of it wasn't working. The heat wasn't as hot. We had no idea how long to put it on for. When do you flip it? Wow, we were lost. Ended up totally dry, nasty, disgusting. What the difference between an optimized grill and a clogged grill? The same goes for us. When I was a failure for like a decade, I had clogs. I was physically very unhealthy, 50 pounds overweight, mentally had a poor mindset, spiritually was not God-fearing, had no why, in toxic relationships, on and on and on. I was clogged. I was that clogged grill. So the first thing I would recommend is to cleanse yourself. Go organic, lose some weight, do a little bit of exercise. Instead of soda, drink water. Get rid of any addictions you have. Get rid of any toxic relationships you have. Become spiritual a little bit. I'm just telling you based off of what I did. So this is what I would recommend, is to go through a bit of a cleansing, so that you could alleviate many of these issues that you're having now.
Perfect. Okay, and obviously, you had that past where you had trouble, you did this cleansing. And so in terms of actual practical, when did it turn around for you, and what happened?
Right away, bro. Right as soon as you start doing the cleansing, things start happening. It's like, there's many different facets to your life. It's like, they say your office is dirty, your business is dirty, that sort of thing. If your car is dirty, your house is dirty, these sort of things. And once you start organizing, piece by piece, life just starts improving right away. Look, if you've eaten like a slob for years, you go to, like I used to go to fast food all the time, sodas every day, fast food every day, and then you just go healthy for just a few days, you feel much better within a matter of days. So the results start coming right away.
And then did that impact on your business and entrepreneurial life straight away as well? I mean,
All connected. It's all connected. Happy wife, happy life, right? It's all connected. Uh, if you are healthier, everything is healthier. Your business is healthier. Your relationship is healthier. It's all interconnected, in my opinion.
Yeah, perfect. And then, so obviously, I know what you do now, but for those that don't know what you do, can you just tell them in your words what it is that you do right now?
We help really build seven-figure coaches. So we help people who are existing coaches or who want to be a coach build a seven-figure coaching business. And our definition of coaches is pretty light. So that means really anyone who wants to offer any sort of support. So whether or not you want to build a course, but you want to offer a weekly Q&A, or you want to do done with you or done for you, anywhere where you're actually supporting someone, supporting a client on an ongoing basis, we consider you a coach. So basically what I do is just the simplest thing. We have generated seven figures as a coach, and frankly, much more importantly, we've helped, our clients hit seven figures as coaches. And, when I started in this, I had no white hair. And you can see I have quite a bit of white hair right now. We put a lot of time, grunt work, blood, sweat, and tears into figuring out the right funnels, the right offer structures, the right traffic strategies, the right sales scripts, the right systems. So now what we do when people work with us, we just give it all to them. They're like, well, here's my blood, sweat, and tears. Here you go. And build. And when you have questions, you come to us. You get to leverage me and my dream team every single day, where we actually live in a workshop style. Wherever you're stuck, your funnel's not converting, let's go in there and help you fix it. Your copy, your messaging is not converting, let's go in there and help you fix it. Your ads are not converting, let's go in there and help you fix it. Then you get to work with me every single week. Whatever your stuck strategy, tactic, wherever you're lost, confused, you need help breaking through, you need help massaging something, we make it happen. The same woman who has changed my life, who's got rid of my mental trash, who I work with pretty much daily, you get access to her every week so she can take out your mental trash. So what's mine is yours, mi casa, su casa. And that's our current offer, which I believe is our, in my opinion, our best ever, most holistic offer. But people are really enjoying it, and they're getting results, and I'm pretty happy with it.
Okay, and so can anyone become a coach, or do you need to be an expert of some sort before you can launch an online coaching business?
Yeah, it's interesting. It depends. It depends what you're doing. For example, if you see, there's a story about my brother who played the guitar. And one day he told me, I want to play the guitar. And I said, okay. So I went and I got him a guitar. And he never played before. And he went on YouTube and he played some lessons. And a couple hours later, he learned one or two songs, Down by the Bay or the Buffalo. Okay, is he an expert at playing the guitar? No. Can he now coach people on how to play one song? Can he coach you, say, hey, learn how to play your first ever song on guitar? Yeah, he can. Is he going to be the world's best? No, probably not. But can he get people to play that one song? Yeah, if he wanted to. So you have to be good at something. I think the problem is that people's like, oh, well, that person's way better than I am, or well, that person's a lot further. Well, everyone started at zero, but they started. and you're about to give up. So all those people like, oh, the results is higher, and my competition, they're much further, but they started where you're at, and they were selling from where you were at. But the difference is, instead of making excuses and giving up like you're about to, they just started selling and then building on top of that. So you got to start wherever you're at. That's my main point. I'm not into fake it till you make it. I'm not into anything unethical like that. But you have to start wherever you're at and be honest about it. And they are always going to be, as long as you know how to accomplish something, there's always going to be people who want to know how to accomplish that.
And in your opinion, then what would you say is the number one or the main skill needed to be a successful coach?
The main thing needed is to just have the right systems and the right support. It's all about leverage. It's all about, like, I have a dream team. They're expensive, and you get to, like, you can leverage that, by working with me. I mean, I have like A players, so it's, I mean, like my salespeople, I pay six figures. My CEO, I pay six figures, so it's like my sales team, it's like, you get to leverage all these things that are working. So the number one skill you need, did you say skill?
Yeah.
The number one skill you need is the ability, the understanding is like, okay, I'm going to leverage, it's like, well, I could go figure all this out on my own, or I can leverage people, teams, and systems that have already done it. So I think people make life too complicated for themselves. You see, here's the thing, man. We now live in the day and age of internet. Before, I don't know, 20 years ago, maybe, something like that. If you wanted to buy a TV, now I'm here in my sister's room because we're on vacation here, so you have to excuse the background. But you see there's a TV behind me. 20 years ago, if you wanted to buy a TV, you would have to literally, and you wanted the best price, well, you'd have to go probably, I think, in the yellow pages and look up all these different electronic stores. Okay, there's Walmart and there's whatever else, was out there at the time. And you'd have to, okay, there's Billy's TV store and this and that. You'd have to call all of them. Hey, I'm looking for a 55-inch. Yeah, how much is it? What model is it? Okay, and then you'd have to call each and every person. You're looking at like half the day gone, right? Now you go on the internet, click, boom, best prices delivered to your door with 2 clicks. So that is what's happened now. So a lot of people are still doing coaching the old way, in the yellow pages, looking up phone numbers. I'm telling you to leverage and to do things much quicker and easier, like we can do today, and taking advantage of the times. Most people are not.
Okay. And for somebody who's just starting out, they know very little or maybe nothing about online marketing, they know nothing about coaching. If they have a skill and they want to help people, what are the essential elements that they need to put together at the very beginning to start a successful business?
The very beginning, all you need to focus on is 3 things. You need a killer offer, and it's got to be an offer so good that, your own mom's going to want to buy it, in the sense that, someone hears your offer, they want to get up in the middle of their favorite dinner, run up 5 flights of stairs and buy it, right? So it's got to be juicy, and it's got to speak exactly to your person. Like the last offer I bought was, I gained a little bit of weight during Corona, and I could lose weight on my own, but me, I'm a coach. I like coaches, so I hired a coach. Now, what did I weighed 197 when I hired him. Today, I weighed myself on 182, so that's 15 pounds I'm down. By the way, I have 5 more to go. What was the offer? It was a very juicy offer. It said, hey, entrepreneurial men, well, that's me, who want to lose 20 pounds in 6 weeks, well, that's me, with only nutrition, that's me, click here. I'm just like, that's exactly what I want. I'm an entrepreneurial man. I want to lose 20 pounds in 6 weeks. That's exactly what I wanted. And I only want to do it in nutrition right now. And I bought it. And I didn't even know this guy. No idea who he is. And I paid him thousands of dollars. Well worth it, by the way. I feel great. I'm 15 pounds lighter. I'm gonna be 20 pounds lighter in a few days. I feel great, productive, energetic. So your offer has to be very good, number 1. Number 2 is your funnel has to be dripping with ethical principles of persuasion. There needs to be scarcity in there. There needs to be a wow factor. There needs to be very enticing messaging. There needs to be, your personality, very likable, authoritative, very good personality. There needs to be, monkey see, monkey do, social proof. There needs to be all these things done right. you know, 99% of funnels are, with all due respect, garbage in the sense that, like, the test was like, hey, working with Mark was okay, or working with Sarah was cool.
So for
Like,
those that don't know sorry to interrupt, for those that don't know what a
yeah,
funnel is, could you just
yeah.
briefly explain that?
Listen, there's many different ways to explain a funnel. Frankly, a funnel is another word. Put it to this way: a funnel is a type of website designed with the intention, designed to sell. A lot of traditional websites are more informational. A funnel is a type of website that is curated to sell with a very specific intention. That's, I think, one way to put it. Uh, yeah. So, I mean, honestly, I've given an hour-long training on how to do the funnel right, or 2-hour-long training. So you got to do the funnel right. By the way, simple. Most of our funnels have been ugly. One of my funnels right now is one of the best ones we've ever had. Simple, ugly, tight messaging, very good messaging. You have to speak to your ideal client right to their heart. Just like I was like, yeah, that's me. I'm an entrepreneur. I want to list their business. Oh my God, that's me. Usually it's just people's messaging is so bad. You see, you need to leverage a copywriter because everyone tries to do their own copy, which is such a mistake because it's so bland. It's elevator music, forgettable background noise. If you have a composer, they can make masterpieces. Yeah, or you can have forgettable background elevator music, and that's what pretty much everyone's creating. But it's not your fault because if I'm building a house and I've never done electrical work in my life, and I was like, screw it, I'm just going to try doing it, my house is going to go on fire, which is exactly what's happening to people's funnels. Don't put your house on fire. Don't try to write copy. It's not some thing I'll just wing it. Like, it is a very particular, advanced, intentful skill set that people hone their craft on a daily basis. Don't think, oh, okay, I'll just try something. That's not going to work. Like, it's just not going to work. If you don't have a natural storytelling, copywriting ability where you can write to sell, it's just not going to work. You have two options. One, study copywriting, read all the copywriting books, write every day, study copy, or leverage a copywriter. Like, I love copy. I love writing. So I do a lot of it myself because I enjoy it and I'm pretty good at it. And I practice every day and I study it. So it's a little different for me, but um,
So yeah, your
number one,
three
yeah,
elements are your
yeah,
offer, your funnel.
number three is traffic. So you got an awesome offer, you got an awesome funnel. Well, that's great. If no one sees it, then who cares? You have nothing. You have, air. You need to send people there. So that's upon you. We teach organic traffic because we've generated 7 figures organically. That's what we teach. There's organic traffic, there's paid traffic. The point of the matter is you have to figure out traffic. So these are the three things you need to really focus on.
And in a crowded marketplace, and how can somebody stand out when there's so many different types of coaches and maybe so many coaches in the niche that people are thinking in? How can they stand out?
You see, that's the thing, though. People think they have a lot of competition, but you don't, because your competition is terrible. Because your competition's messaging is terrible, and it just blends in the background. There's a lot of people doing what you do, but you don't have a lot of competition because only the top few. Listen, there's plenty of people who do what I do. So why do they work with me? There's only one you. The most profitable person you can be is yourself. A lot of people buy from me, dude. I just resonate with your message. Make more, give more. I just resonate with your content. I just resonate with the way you do things. And that's what people don't understand is that you are your USP. So you need to kind of forget this idea that, oh, I have competition. Your competition is irrelevant.
So just following on from that then, because there's a lot of confusion out there in terms of whether I should start a personal brand or a company brand. Which way should you go?
Depends on what you're doing. Listen, we've done mostly personal in our whole lives, but listen, there is a lot of respect for companies because the reality is, like, I can't sell what I'm doing because it's me. So I'm working the same amount of hours as the dude who's doing the company, but that guy can sell the company. 5 years later, if I want to leave, I want to leave with a handshake. If that guy wants to leave, maybe he can sell his company for 50 mil, 100 mil, 10 mil, whatever. So I am a fan of building a company. They look at it's about what your intentions are. It's not, I can't really give you a blanket statement. It depends on what you're looking to do. Like if you're looking at just like, okay, dude, I want to be a coach. I want to hit it hard for 5 years. I want to produce 5 million profit. I want to put that in commercial real estate and then I'm done. And I don't really care about anything else. Well, then that's different. There's a different protocol for you. It really depends on what your intentions are, what your plans are, and you should have those. You should operate with the end in mind. So I think that question depends on what your end goal is.
Okay, and for those that are thinking about, obviously COVID's hit and they've maybe lost their jobs, they're in a lot of stress, a lot of fear. What advice would you give them? That they have a talent, but they're just fearful and hesitant with sharing it with the world, and they've never done anything like it. What advice would you give to them?
Yeah, I mean, listen. First of all, congratulations if you got fired or whatever. That's great. That's great news. Number one. Number two is that listen, nobody cares. Public memory is very, very short. There's countries around the world where people went to jail because they stole from the government, and then years later, they actually were elected into running the country. They won the what do they call the elections. Public memory is very short. Nobody cares. I'm certainly not telling you to steal, but I know a lot of people are afraid of, oh, what if this doesn't work? Nobody cares. Nobody remembers. People are getting 4,000 ads a day. People are getting more distractions now, more so than ever. You think anyone's going to remember if you sent some offer and nobody bought? They're not even going to know anybody bought. So what I'm telling you is forget about what everyone else thinks. And frankly, it doesn't really matter what anyone else thinks. You have to have your end goal in mind. And I think that's the problem a lot of people don't have. They just jump into it. Think about your why. Why are you doing this? What's your end goal? Let that fuel you, because the haters are always going to be there. They've been around since the beginning of the time. They're from the devil. It's our job as entrepreneurs. You got to be a little tough to be an entrepreneur. You got to be a little mentally tough. You got to have a little bit of a thick skin to survive. And if you don't have that stuff, you need to work on that stuff. It's really just a choice. You want to make someone else's dreams come true, or do you want to make your own dreams come true? It's really just your choice.
So sticking to that point, so how important then is self-esteem to becoming an entrepreneur, and if you're lacking it, what practical steps can you take to build self-esteem?
How do you build self-esteem? How do you build okay, I don't know. I can only tell you from me. Like I had lower self-esteem in school when I was like overweight and stuff. Yeah, there were times in my life I had low self-esteem, definitely. My number one advice is to go through a cleansing. Absolutely go through a cleansing. Do a checklist. Okay, I have low self. Okay, am I healthy? No, dude, I'm overweight. Okay, lose some weight. Then check. Okay, how's my? Because honestly, if you are all overweight and you lose some weight, you get in better shape. Or even if you're in okay shape, but you go to the gym, you work out, maybe you have getting a little bit of a six pack now or whatever. Like that totally shoots up your confidence right then and there. People look at you differently because your environment changes. People look at you differently. They talk to you differently. They respect you more, and that also brings you up. So the first thing you want to do is up your game. Are you buy some new clothes? Are you kind of dressed kind of like, oh dude, you just have this like kind of loose, weird kind of white t-shirt on all the time? Go buy some nice clothes that fit right. Clean your car. If you can afford a better car, get a better car. These things really make a difference, because when you have, people unfortunately judge by appearance. When I shaved my head, I started making more money because I used to have long hair up to my shoulders, and there's data on this that there's trust issues with that. Oh, I don't know. This guy long hair. I don't know.
Okay.
So I have a chipped tooth here, and now actually I'm getting that fixed. I don't really care, but I'm getting that fixed because I know people. There's a science behind it. Do you see what I'm saying? So that would be my advice based off of my own experience.
Perfect. And can you just give us some examples of your best students and their results?
Over the years, I mean, we've helped a couple of people hit 8 figures. I'm not sure how many, two at least. I have to actually, it's funny, I have to check the messages. Two or three, I don't know. A couple of people hit 8 figures, bunch of people hit 7 figures, a lot of people hit 6 figures. I mean, listen, one of my favorite success stories is from, there's a lot of great success stories. One of my favorites is one of the more smaller ones numerically, but it's one of my favorites. It's from my personal assistant, Anne. She's a VA of mine from the Philippines, third world country. Internet not that great. Is the Philippines a third world country, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I think it is. Forgive
I'm
me if I'm
shocked to be
wrong, but I
honest.
think yeah, I believe it is. I apologize if it's not, but anyway, the internet's she was a single mother in a third world country with spotty internet. Uh, this is a true story, and she, I help people build a seven-figure coaching business. She edits my videos. So, like for example, today I recorded a special training. I broke down my psychology of a VSL. So I'll send her the Zoom recordings go in the cloud. She gets it. She has to edit the beginning and the end, put intro, outro, and then she uploads it to my members area. We give trophies every time we help someone hit 6 or 7 or 8 figures, right? So she messages me not too long ago. She says, you owe me a 6 figure trophy, right? I said, ha ha ha. Like, I don't know. I have no idea what she's talking about. And she says, no, I'm serious. Because I edit your videos over the past year, I've been watching. I had to watch all your videos because I edit them. And I've been watching it and I've been implementing it. And I've now built a 6 figure business online. She built an agency from our training. And it easily was one of my all-time favorite stories that she never asked me a business question ever. But just from editing my videos and watching them and implementing what I told her, in a third world country with spotty internet, she built a 6 figure business. And she showed me the screenshots. And now she has a trophy. That's one of my favorite stories. Another, speaking of jobs, is Gaurav recently. He's in America. He hated his job. He had a good job, by the way, engineer or something. He got paid well, 6 figures, but he didn't like his job at all. Our program allowed him to quit his business, and within months, he built a 6 figure coaching business. He's definitely going to be a 7 figure earner. But that was cool that he got to leave his 6 figure job that he hated because he had a passion for more. He said, I want to do more with my life. So there's so many success stories, great success stories like this. Another guy just found out about actually that we helped him hit 6 figures. Steven, a lot of success. There's a lot of success stories I know. And there's a lot I don't know. Steven told me, he sent me an email that he sent me years ago. He bought a course from me years ago. And he sent me an email, said, I asked you for a refund. He shared with me his story. He asked me for a refund. He said, I just lost my job. I can't do this. I have to focus on other things. Can I have a refund? And I said, man, you need this now. I'm a nice guy, would have probably done it, but I told him, I said, man, you need this now more so than ever. Because as a coach, it's my job to do what's best for you. So I said, man, you just lost your job. You need this now more than ever. You need to forget about refund and think of that scarcity mindset. You need to implement and win for your family. I'm paraphrasing. Anyway, that's exactly what he did. And we helped him build a 6 figure business, which he's getting a trophy for. He later went on to make a 7 figure business. And now this year he's on track to do $4 million. So he went from, I lost my job, I need a refund on some cheap $2,000 course, to now making millions of dollars easily. One of my favorite stories. But we can go on, but yeah, there's a lot of them.
Okay, and for those thinking about, starting a coaching business, but, maybe they're not sure what to do or how to do it, or, let's stick to, they don't know what to do. Maybe they've got 5 or 6 different skills which they've got, but they've never been in the online world. But what kind of things can you coach people on and make a business out of it?
Man, there's so many things. I mean, health, the big ones are health, wealth, relationships. But dude, we have some funky ones. We got a guy who teaches drone photography. We have a guy who teaches painting, how to paint houses, mindset coaches, healing coaches, financial coaches. Dude, it's like, it's all over the map. It's like whatever. There's no rules for it. It's like whatever you're good at, there's probably a market. People have made a lot of money doing the strangest things.
And why is it important than ever for people to focus on an online coaching business now?
Listen, man, like I told you, I come from an entrepreneurial family. And for generations, my family's been in business. I have a very large family. For many generations, only really a handful of people have ever had a job. So I've been exposed to a lot of models, wholesale, retail, real estate, on and on and on. The sexiest business model I've ever seen is, and frankly, the easiest and one of the most profitable and lucrative ones, is without a doubt the online model. It's it's a dream come true. I mean, look, I hate to be cheesy and stuff, but like, look, I just spent the entire summer here in Connecticut visiting my family, and I'm holding my office in my hand right now, my laptop, you know, and I hate that. It's kind of like I want to talk like this, but it's also kind of cheesy because it has like a bad rap in the marketplace, like, oh, laptop lifestyle. I know it's cheesy for some, but I mean, like, I don't know, it's just true. Like, I made money while I was at the beach. And like, yeah, a lot of people market like that and it's cheesy the way they say it. But the reality is, like, I don't know, like it's true. Like, I do get paid notifications while I'm at the beach. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I know it may sound cheesy or, this or that, but the laptop lifestyle it's real. It's real and it's freaking awesome, you know? Not to say we don't have to go through a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to make it awesome, but listen, man, I've always been a freedom junkie. It depends on you. Like, you couldn't pay me enough money to go in a cubicle. Like, if you gave me a salary, hey man, I'm gonna give you $1 million a year. You don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to worry about, because I'm a CEO right now. I got to worry about sales, deliverability, tech. I got to worry about all these departments. But if somebody can pay me $1 million, man, you don't got to worry about any of that. You just got to do a couple little things here and there. You just stay in your cubicle. I can't do it, man. I'm a freedom junkie. I just can't do it. So listen, I don't know any other business model. Listen, I got family who's like, one of the guys who actually upsets me is a doctor. And do they work you like a dog? I mean, my cousin is perpetually exhausted. He just looks beat up. Not to mention the whole medical system's crooked in the first place. Generally speaking, a lot of it, you know. Obviously, there's good and bad and everything, but I'm just like, I just look at a lot of like, look, again, it's whatever makes you happy. For me, I've enjoyed the freedom and the ability to create and the ability to make impact. Um, so I very much so enjoy the entrepreneurial lifestyle. It's not for everyone. Let's be totally honest. Like I said, if you're a very scarcity mindset and you're not a risk taker and you're kind of, you'd like uh, the golden handcuffs, it's not for everybody. But I've certainly enjoyed it.
And just talk to us a little bit about your why and your mission and how important it is to have one.
I think it's essential. I think not having a why is like driving a car without an engine, or without a GPS. Really, our why is very real. It's make more, give more. We want to help you make more, so you can give more to your families, communities, and favorite charities. Hence, making the world a better place. You see, we can only give so much on our own. I want to get that award. They give you an award when you give seven figures in charity, and it's just, that's what you know, I used to have a lot of addiction problems, and the best high I've ever had is giving. It's one that lasts. It's a very healthy one. It has good side effects instead of bad ones. So it's very healthy. B, it feels a lot better. C, it lasts. And I mean, the benefits are on and on, but I can only do so much on my own. So I have skill sets and gifts just like everyone else. Just that I'm no one special. So I decided if I share my gifts and I help more people make more, then they can give more. And collectively, a little bit in abundance is a lot. And so instead of me just giving, if I can empower a community of givers, then together we will have made a much bigger impact.
Brilliant. And obviously that's a powerful message, but you've built a tribe around this, and it's a passionate tribe as well. What do you think it is about that message that really attracts all these people, and they really get behind it and they get really passionate about it?
Listen, I think in America alone, last year, the year before, they gave almost around about $500 billion in charity. I'm talking about, generally speaking, your everyday man. A little bit in abundance is a lot. So giving is still, thank God, very much a part of the human being's DNA. In the sense that, especially if you follow any of the major holy books, they all tell you to give abundantly. So I think, generally speaking, in America at least, we're still a God-fearing overall, we're still a God-fearing country, and we are an abundant country in the sense that our economy is good, and generally when people are doing well, they're more giving. So I think that because we're aligned with their, remember I told you a lot of people are negatively brainwashed because they grew up in a 9 to 5 environment. Well, a lot of people grew up with the giving environment. So we're relating to that. We're resonating to that. And my marketplace is not. They're talking about Ferraris and helicopters and all this. They're not talking about giving. So it is a bit of a unique message where it's just not spoken about in our marketplace. So I think that's kind of the attraction. Okay, this is different.
Yeah, and just before we wrap up, what is the future for Akbar Sheikh and the Coach's Secret? What are your ambitions now? Obviously, you've built quite a very successful business. Where are you heading, and what's your end goal, so to speak?
I think we continue supporting our clients. We want to continue systemize and continue making it easier for our students to win, continue giving them the best assets, for equipping them with the best toolkits to win, simplifying processes, adding things, resources for them like apps and more frameworks. And, I can't wait till Corona is over because I love live events. We'll probably do some more live events and workshops. And I think we're going to kind of keep growing, God willing, like we're going to open up a mastermind that specializes taking 6-figure earners to 7 figures. We're going to keep growing. We're going to keep helping. We're going to systemize as much as we can to help more people. That's the point. We want to help more people make more so they can give more. So everything we're going to be doing now is going to be designed with the intention that how can we help more people make more so we can give more? How can we get a higher success rate? How can we create more impact? So that's kind of going to be the leading thoughts. That's going to be our compass.
Excellent. And how can people get in touch with you? Where can they find out more information about you, about what you offer, and really who would benefit the most from seeking you out and taking your course?
Any entrepreneur looking to make more to give more, and who wants to leverage my proven and tried systems, frameworks, scripts, my basically 7-figure coaching business in a box. If you want to make more to give more, I've got all the tools, assets, and resources and daily live support for me and my dream team to make that happen. And to find out about me, you can just go to my name.com, akbarsheikh.com, AK, of course, nobody can spell it.
We'll drop a link below when this goes. So we'll drop a link below. So you can go there. Brilliant. Yeah. I mean, just that, obviously I am a part of the Coach's Secret, and it is a great platform. For me, it was obviously I've had the corporate conditioning, and what really hit me was it can't be this simple. The way it's set out, it's obviously very simple, very straightforward, and really, you are your own problem, because the problem for me has been it can't be this simple. And then the other thing is I've met some of the greatest people that are now friends from the group inside the Coach's Secret. So yeah, I would highly recommend, if you are looking for an online business or somewhere to start and a community of like-minded people, definitely check out Akbar Sheikh and the Coach's Secret. And we're going to wrap up now. So any final words before we close up?
No, I would say my number one secret, like I said, I'm not a tech guy. I don't know anything about pixels or, intricate email sequences or any sort of TikTok, Mick Rick Rock. I don't know any of this stuff. I know a few fundamentals that work very, very well. And honestly, my number one secret that I want to be the world's worst kept secret is just to give whatever you can, your time, resources, your heart. Just, if you have people's success as your top priority, you just can't lose.
Brilliant. Love it. Akbar, thank you. Honestly, thank you for doing this. I'm sure people found a lot of great value. As for everybody else, we will see you in the next episode. Take care now. Bye-bye.
All right. Peace. Bye.